Hi, welcome to this series of tutorials on the Introduction to Statistics for Data Science. Data science is a vast field and statistics play a very important fundamental role in it. I would be covering various statistical topics which are fundamentally important in data science or business analytics in this series. I hope this will help you with a clear understanding of the concepts. The first thing we are going to learn would be the classification of variables. Variables is one of the most frequent statistical jargon you will come across, and understanding the classification of variables is very important for you to decide which model to be applied when you analyze the data. There are many classification of variables like continuous, ordinal, nominal, qualitative, quantitative, discrete, etc. But these classifications are not defined absolutely. These classifications seldom overlap with each other, which makes it all the more confusing. Let us look at the four broad classifications of variables. Variables can be classified in qualitative and quantitative, discrete and continuous. It can also be classified as per the scale, and one can also have grouped or categorical classification of a variable. Let us look at each of these classifications in details. The first classification would be the qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative variables are the ones which cannot take values that can be ordered in a logical or a natural way. These are random values like name of a country, car brand, color of the eye, etc. Whereas quantitative are the variables which can be quantified and represent measurable quantities. For example, value of a car, weight of a person, population of a country, etc. And these values can be ordered in a logical or a natural way. The next classification could be between the discrete and continuous variables. Discrete would be the one which can take finite number of values. These can be both qualitative and quantitative in nature. For example, car brand, color of the eye, which are qualitative in nature, are discrete since the values are finite. Quantitative variables like size of the shoe, age of a human, etc. can also be tagged as discrete variables since these quantities are also finite in nature. On the other hand, continuous variables are the ones which can take infinite number of values and are always quantitative in nature. For example, distance between two places, time taken to travel to a location, price of a house, etc. One may argue that these variables cannot be infinite since price of a house would fall in between a fixed lower and upper limit, but at the same time when we review the price in actual, the value could be infinite since we can have infinite number of values between two subsequent numbers. Another type of classification of variables could be based on scale, and there are three primary classifications in this, that is nominal, ordinal and continuous. The nominal would be the ones which cannot be ordered. For example, binary variables like true or false, yes or no, and other non-ordered values like marital status, gender, etc. The second one is ordinal, and as the name suggests, these can be ordered, but the difference between the two ordinal values cannot be used in a meaningful way. For example, grades, rankings, satisfaction score, etc. can all be ordered. Their order does have a meaning, but the difference between two orders does not have any inference. The last one is continuous scale, which can both be ordered, and the difference between the two continuous scale values does have some meaning. For example, for a height of a person, we can conclude a person X is 20% shorter than person Y, or temperature on X day is 10% higher than the previous day. The last classification would be grouped classification, and somehow it is seldom also referred to as categorical classification. However, there is a small difference between these two terms, but for our understanding per se, we would refer to it as categorical variable. This is one of the most generic classification, and this can have nominal, ordinal, quantitative, qualitative and discrete values. A continuous variable like salary of a person can be grouped into different buckets or bins like the ones shown here, and this variable would then be referred to as a categorical variable. Now that we know all the broad classifications of a variable, and as I've already mentioned at the start of this tutorial that these classifications does overlap with each other, which means that a particular variable can be categorized into different classifications and all of it would be correct. Let's look at how these variables are connected to each other. We will try and create a web and show the connection. Here you go. We can see how each of the classification is interconnected to each other. A nominal classified variable can be qualitative, categorical, and discrete in nature. An ordinal classified variable can be categorical, quantitative, and discrete in nature. In a similar fashion, a quantitative variable can be classified into categorical, ordinal, continuous, and discrete classification. I hope the classification of variables is now clear, and in the next tutorial we will cover how these variables can be represented graphically. I hope you like this video. If you have any questions pertaining to this topic, do leave a message in the comment section below, and also do let me know if you want me to cover any specific topic pertaining to statistics. Please do subscribe to my channel for support. Thank you.